We're happy to share that Devtoberfest is returning again this year. It will run the entire month of October, from October 1st through October 31st. If you aren't familiar with Devtoberfest, it's a celebration by developers for developers. It's a great way for the SAP ecosystem of developers to come together, get educated, exchange ideas with one another, and have a lot of fun. It's also a great way to prepare and lead up to the SAP Tech Ed event, which will take place in the middle of November. Now, Devtoberfest this year, largely the same structure as the previous years, if you're familiar with it. We're going to have a lot of great educational content. Now this year we're going to structure the content on particular days of the week. So for instance, all the ABAP content will be on Mondays. That way every week during Devtoberfest you can return on Monday if you're interested in ABAP content, and there'll be new ABAP content for you. This will follow along the structure. Mondays will be ABAP, as I said. Tuesdays will be user interface topics. Wednesday will be data and analytics. Thursday will be low and no code tooling. And Friday will be cloud native topics. Also returning this year is the fun contest. Different this year though is we have some bigger prizes. We'll have beanie caps and stadium scarves, but probably most exciting is the grand prize this year. All expense paid trip to SAP's Newport Beach office in California. There you'll get to meet with SAP leaders and product experts and have a VIP experience at one of SAP's major customers. Now that major customer just so happens to also be one of the most magical places on earth. So as you can imagine, this will be a great career opportunity, an educational opportunity, as well as a lot of fun. So you can get started today by just going to the SAP Community Devtoberfest group and click the Join Group button. That will register you for the contest, as well as you'll be notified when we add more information about all the great upcoming content that's going to start launching at the beginning of October. So what are you waiting for? Go join the Devtoberfest community group today.
The new openSAP course, Working with Calculation Views in SAP HANA Cloud, starts this month on September 28th. In this course, you will learn how to develop SAP HANA Calculation View models in SAP HANA Cloud. The basic concepts of the SAP HANA Cloud development environment will be covered, including the SAP HANA deployment infrastructure, known as HDI. You'll get an overview of the new calculation view modeling options before diving deeper into performance topics and the various techniques required to get the most out of the calculation view modeling. The course concludes with an in-depth focus on the background of several optimization techniques and the inner workings of calculation view performance settings.
Hey everybody, Josh Bentley, Developer Advocate, and I've got a pretty big update from the Kyma team. They've been doing a lot of changes as Kyma open source has been rolling out different features, and we've been moving those into the SAP BTP Kyma runtime. So we're supporting different versions of Kyma, but with Kyma 2.0, there are some things that have been taken away and are no longer supported. The first that I wanted to mention is in a blog post from Christoph. He says that we are no longer going to have the SAP migration tool. It was connected to some other app migrations that you were doing, and the interdependencies of that mean that we can no longer support that tool. But that's not all. There are other tools that are being affected. Some of you are using what we call the Kyma console. This has been changed, and we have a new version that has been rolled out for everybody called the Kyma hosted dashboard. And Christoph explains how this fits into everybody moving forward using the SAP BTP Kyma runtime. There's another feature that Christoph points out that's pretty important. It has to do with identity services. SAP Cloud Identity Services for authentication and native Kubernetes roles and role bindings for authorizations are being used instead of the older methods of authentication that we used to have in Kyma. We wanted you to know the impact of these changes SAP BTP Kyma runtime is rolling out, especially since the old console will no longer be exposed to you.
Hola, SAP developers. Today, I want to bring your attention to a blog post that was recently published related to multitenancy in SAP BTP. In his blog post, Raja explains multitenancy and how it differs from single tenancy. He describes the roles of an application provider and an application consumer. Then, he covers the different BTP components and services required to run a multi-tenant application and their role. For example, the SAP SaaS provisioning service and its role when enabling multi-tenancy. Also, how consumer onboarding and offboarding works, and what you need to consider for it. Check it out if you are unfamiliar with the concept and want to learn what's required to deploy a multi-tenant application in SAP BTP.
Hi everyone. We would like to draw your attention to an upcoming webinar that will happen on September 15th and will be about the SAP Fiori user experience and its technologies. The session will cover a wide range of topics from developer tools and initially creating your project to running an app productively and end-user personalization. If you are looking to get an overview about SAP Fiori, this session is the right fit for you. Check out Tanya's blog post for more information.